Good morning vlog. I am very tired. I slept a lot last night because I put myself on essentially a hydrocodone and Benadryl round the clock schedule. So I was taking, I'm taking hydrocodone about every 12 hours because that's how long it lasts for me, and I'm taking Benadryl every 4 hours so I can tolerate that. Yeah, I've also been using this heating pad. These are the UTK heating pads. I have the link in my description. They are a lifesaver for me. Normally I hate heat on my period, but this heat I like for some reason. It's more gentle and I tolerate it better. So now we're just checking out of the hotel and we are on our way to Wake Forest, which is the hospital that I go to hopefully get this port fixed. I really need these fluids today, guys, but I don't know, even if they get the port fixed, if I'll be able to get them because my home health company closes at 5. But my mouth is super dry and my lips are getting really chapped. That's why I have a chapstick on right now. All because I'm menstruating, so we really need to get this fixed. We're here, and I got Hey, and they're gonna try to access me again and see if it works. Thankfully, I got a room with a bed, so I can sit here with my heating pad and try not to agitate my hips because they dislocated again. Alrighty, guys. Good news is that my port works perfectly. It is in the right place, and the nurse was able to access me on the first try. He got the needle in, and he flushed it, he drew blood. It worked wonderfully. That is the first time I have ever had saline pushed in that I didn't even like feel it going in. The downside is that they could not leave me accessed because of hospital protocol. So we are driving straight home, and the home health nurse is going to be there when we get there so she can access me and I can get my fluids because I am super dehydrated because of my period. And hopefully she can access it. I think maybe the problem yesterday was that the nurse was having a tough time finding the 3 little marker dots for my port. Hopefully this nurse up here that we're getting today will be able to access it easily, but I was also kind of shown where they put the needle, so I can kind of help her out with where they place the needle. The good news is that my port works, and it is great, and it is a perfectly functioning port. Oh my god, guys, I'm about ready to bite somebody's head off, legitimately. A nurse accessed me at interventional radiology and then de-accessed me. And my port is still healing, so I have this glue on it to keep the incision, you know, closed. And after he finished accessing me, instead of just having me hold gauze to where the needle was, like you're supposed to, like the nurse did yesterday, he put a freaking Band-Aid on it, and on top of the glue, and on top of the surgical site. So now, if I were to try to peel off that Band-Aid, the entire glue, all of the scab, all of the healing that my body has worked so hard to accomplish would be done for. So what we did, or rather what I did, because the nurse on the phone was completely useless, was peel off as much of the tape as I could, or the Band-Aid as I could without touching the surgical glue, and then cut the little bit that's left on, and I'm gonna leave that on and let it heal with that on. And hopefully it'll heal fine. Before I got sick, I thought healthcare was so easy that like you just trusted the doctors and the nurses and they took care of you. Now I realize it's not. There's a lot of incompetent medical personnel out there that don't know what they're doing or that make a mistake on something super basic, like not putting Band-Aid on top of surgical glue. And thankfully, I also have EDS, so I already have a high chance of having trouble wound healing. And now, I get to worry about that thing there. Let's hope the nurse I get tonight for home health to access my port is knowledgeable and actually knows what she's doing. So, that is my story for you guys. I'm sorry if you're chronically ill and you have to go through this. If you're healthy and you don't have to go through this, please recognize your privilege and be thankful that you're healthy. And that's my update. We're heading home. We're stuck in traffic right now, but hopefully we'll be home soon. the nurse came and went. She accessed me. I am now hooked up to IV fluids. And I am crying because look at this. I don't know if you guys can see it, but that is a 1-inch needle, and half of the needle is sticking out of my chest. And I expressed to the nurse that I am uncomfortable with this. You know what port needles are supposed to look like. They can stick out a little bit, but certainly not over half of the needle sticking out of your chest. And she was like, oh, that's totally normal. It's okay. Totally fine. So the nurse left because I'm exhausted and in pain and tired, and I just didn't have the energy to argue with her. And I tried to push my wheelchair, something which I have been reassured I would be able to do once my port is accessed. And I experienced severe pain in the muscle from the needle poking basically what is the back of the port and pressing it against my muscle. Now I am stuck with a giant needle in my chest. And I'm crying because what is exponentially unfair in the world is that me, a 20-year-old high school graduate that has not even had an associate's degree, is expected to have the knowledge of a nurse that has gone to school for 4 years so that they don't do something stupid and injure me. This is the second thing today that I would consider to be stupid. First, the nurse was like, let's put a Band-Aid on your surgical glue so that you can rip your surgical glue off when you take that Band-Aid off and possibly give yourself an infection or a fistula. Then the second nurse was like, let's put the biggest ass needle I have in you and convince you that it's normal to have a giant needle sticking out of your chest and have pain. It's not normal, you guys. Don't let people do this to you if you have a port. Or do, I don't know, you're probably too tired to fight it too. Now I'm sitting here waiting for my fluids to finish, and then me, you know, because I actually basically have a college degree from Google at this point, I am going to flush my own port, in sterile technique of course, and de-access myself. Because I know how to do that, and because there's no way in hell I'm going to be able to sleep with this giant ass needle sticking out of my chest, causing me severe pain whenever I, like, just doing this to reach this hurts, guys. For the record, when your port is accessed, it shouldn't hurt. You shouldn't really feel much there. A little bit of the needle sticking out, that's kind of normal. Over half of the needle sticking out is not okay.
Hoping that Sunday that we can hopefully get her like a 1/2-inch needle, which for the type of needle she's using right now is the smallest it goes, and we're hoping that that'll work better. But I have to wait until Sunday to do that because she's going to de-access herself tonight and then have a day of rest tomorrow, not be accessed tomorrow. So.
And the nurse's excuse for not wanting to take the needle out was because I have already been poked 6 times now. Of course, the funny thing is, the only reason I've been poked that much is from a nurse from the beginning not knowing how to access my port. This is just another, like, it's a sad but depressing reality of chronic illness. The vast majority of medical professionals I meet don't even know the difference between HEDS and vascular type. They have never heard of POTS. They don't know how to treat Hashimoto's thyroiditis, and they're like, how can you have gastroparesis but not have diabetes? And it's just the story of my life that I need to, I basically should have a medical degree at this point with all the stuff that I know. I mean, I even know stuff about other conditions that aren't my condition, just because I figure I can never have too much knowledge, because doctors are just that untrustworthy to me at this point. No offense to any medical professionals out there watching this or anything, but I'm just very frustrated right now. It has been a long day. It has been very rough. So now I'm just gonna sit here in pain for the next
2 hours.
2 hours waiting. Well, it's an hour and a half now. Waiting for my fluids to finish up because I have to run them over 4 hours for my POTS. And try to deal with the fact that I'm constantly feeling a needle in my chest, which is very alarming.
So Bethany's infusion just finished, and she's going to flush it with some saline and then put some heparin in it and then de-access it so that she can get some sleep tonight.
as you saw, I deaccessed my port and flushed it obviously with heparin, and we're going to leave it deaccessed until Sunday when I need my infusion again, and then I'm going to make them put a shorter needle in so that I'm not in pain. And now I'm going to go to bed, so thank you for coming along on this insane, emotional day with me. Please be sure to like this video and subscribe to my channel, and I will see you all tomorrow. Good night.